as we all know, becoming a parent is a very transformative experience. That being said, there's a lot of guilt that tends to come with being a parent, especially in that first year. So that is the topic of today.
Yes. Hi guys, I'm Tom. This is Mallory. Welcome to the Raw Parenting Podcast, where we speak the unfiltered truth. This is what new parents need to hear and what current parents can relate to.
That's right.
Let's get it going.
Quick side note, I also just want to mention we've been reached out a few times about our Raw Talk, and it's had some great feedback. So for those of you who have watched, thank you so much. And for those of you that don't know about Raw Talk, it is a segment that we do at the very end where we speak even more unfiltered truths. So stick around for that. All right, let's jump right in.
All right, so some of the guilt. The first one would be...
In no particular order.
But one of the first, common guilt that most parents would feel would be not bonding enough with the baby.
And especially maybe like that first initial bond, like giving birth even, right?
Yeah, it's so true. Because you get so many different types of experiences. Mm-hmm. Some parents would just cry and just be so emotional when the baby's out.
And it's like, I love you so much.
Yeah, you're just going to be the best thing of my life. And then there are other parents who are like, oh yeah, this is nice.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
I didn't even think I was like, this is nice. It was like... oh God.
Yeah, it's like, oh
now
boy.
we have a human to take care of. Like,
yeah, just reality.
Reality definitely hit me, I would say.
Okay.
Not that I don't love my kids, obviously,
mm-hmm.
but it was just like, life is changing. And then when you have a second one, it's like, life is changing again in a different way.
Yeah, for sure.
Kids, so.
I mean, it's gotta be a weird experience, right? Like, you just had this newborn and they just plop it in your chest. You're just it's like, here you go, here's yours.
Yeah, and then some people are just loving and kissing and cuddling and just like, oh my God, I love you. And I'm just like,
I'm so tired.
Oh God, okay, now what? Yeah, definitely. Okay. But I definitely felt guilty about that for sure.
Yeah,
I'm just I didn't have that Instagram worthy immediate love for my child.
Okay, and for the first and second, right?
Yeah, first and second, it was the same.
Yeah.
Well, especially as if anyone has watched our previous videos, you would know that I didn't even have little lady on my chest the first time just because of all the complications and all of that stuff. So
yeah, guys, don't feel guilty about that.
Yeah, it is what it is,
Yeah.
All right, next up is, my favorite, formula feeding versus breastfeeding.
Oh boy.
Oh my God, I felt
so much pressure. So much pressure on everybody.
Yeah. Pressure of breastfeeding is real. And then if you want to formula feed and you know that right off the bat, they make you feel so guilty about it. Girl, you need to try breastfeeding.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
I guess I'll put my 2 cents in.
Sure.
In my opinion, I think that breastfeeding does have some benefits.
Of course. And
over formula.
Yes.
And I feel like they try to push you so that they want you to try at least.
Mm-hmm. But I think they do it in the wrong way.
Okay. Oh, interesting.
I would say. I would say that they're just immediately jumping down your throat you need to do this. And it's well, why don't you explain it a little bit better? Or I don't know, just have a different approach.
Oh, interesting. Mind. Okay. A little gentler. Be like, okay, you can go formula feeding if you want, but for the benefit of your baby, you should try breastfeeding kind of thing.
Yeah. Or even just especially if someone's undecided. There are obviously medical reasons why some people just can't breastfeed. Of course. Right? So there's always going to be that exception to the rule. But for me, it just felt so even when I was really sore on one side, they're like, you still have to breastfeed. And I'm like, okay, bursting into tears because it was so painful. They just don't have that gentle approach. And I also get it. That's not really their job. So it's
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like I agree. And that is why I really push to do breastfeeding for myself, because I know they get all of those immunity benefits.
Yes.
And if you get sick, which I'm kind of glad I got sick with both of the girls when I was breastfeeding, because then they end up getting those antibodies from when I'm sick to fight off viruses and stuff. So there's definitely all of those benefits for sure.
Yeah. And our kids did breastfeed for a few months. And after that, we switched them to formula, and you felt really guilty about that.
I did. I felt like I wasn't doing it for a long enough time. Peanut was 5.5 months, and then little lady was just over four months. But I definitely felt guilty about switching, and I just it's not the right time, and then I kind of kept pushing it off. But it, for my mental state, it was the right time.
It was. Yeah, breastfeeding for you, it was not fun. It was really tough. And
the guilt about not bonding with your baby when you're breastfeeding.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, they do say that, eh?
Yeah.
When you're breastfeeding, you're bonding with your baby, but...
Yeah, and then I'm like, oh,
if
I
it's
don't breastfeed,
easy,
then I'm not bonding. Moving along.
moving along. All right, next, guilt
Yes.
is taking time for yourself.
For
oh
sure.
Man, that's
We never did this with our first child, okay?
yeah. I mean,
It was COVID as well, so we couldn't, first of all.
but even if you just went out by yourself and you took a small walk, there's always guilt film in that too.
And we still feel that guilt to this day. Like,
yeah, it's like I should be with my family.
yeah. Or it's like, oh, I really don't want to leave you until like
know.
everyone's in bed. And it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, we've talked about this so many times. Like, let's just get over that hump. Just get out of here. And I try
Seriously.
to push you so much to like,
Yeah.
you need to leave. Like,
Yeah.
everything will be okay.
Yeah.
Unless if we know, like, there's definite indications of when Tom and I are in bad moods and bad states.
It's like
And-
we can't handle another second of this.
Exactly. And it's just like, you can feel that. So we're like, all right, like I will take over, which
Yeah.
is so appreciative. But it's like, also like, just get out of the house. I remember telling you that a couple times. I'm like, you need to leave.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
you need to go do something. I don't care what you're doing,
Because,
but
like,
go.
guys, you have to think about this, right? If you're not feeling it, and if you feel the guilt as well, there's no point being with family because you're gonna be in a shitty mood anyways.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
you might as well
Like,
just
we don't want you there anyway if you're going to be like that.
exactly take that 15-minute break, 30-minute break to yourself. Go for a walk. Go get ice cream. Go do that, and just kind of like get your peace of mind at state, and then go attend your family. Like the airplane rule, right? You help yourself first, and then you help
right.
everybody else.
Exactly. Okay, so the next one, it would be comparing yourself to others.
Oh, boy.
Oh, I just love this one.
That's every day, isn't
Damn
it?
Instagram, social media, I tell you. Like,
Yeah.
thank God. So I actually cut out social media after Peanut was born, actually.
Yes.
I cut out social media for these reasons specifically. Also because I had really bad anxiety. Rough times for me, but I cut out social media, which helped a little bit. And that was probably like one of the best decisions I made.
Yeah, you were really happy during those times when you were happier, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It helped a lot because I wasn't looking at all the negative things
Yeah.
and
And
all the
comparing.
comparisons and everyone's doing so great except
right.
for me.
So we all do this, right? We have a little time to ourselves. We go bring out our phone and we just scroll. And, you often see, like, let's just say, for example, a mom with 4 kids and they're just doing all these things. And they're like, yeah, I homeschool all my 4 kids and I make them homemade meals, yada, yada, yada. And I feel like in my mind, I don't see it. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. But I feel like subconsciously, we all feel down about ourselves because, like, I'm not doing that.
For
Oh,
sure.
look at this dad doing this with all their kids. I'm not doing that.
For sure.
In your mind, when you're watching a video, you're like, oh yeah, this is cool. But subconsciously, I think it affects you.
And there's someone that comes to mind immediately, another YouTuber, Beth Grace Moore. Yeah, like she is such an inspiration to me and she just had her 3rd baby. And I'm like, how are you doing all of these things? Like she has I think it was 2.5 at the time. And she's like doing these workbooks, which is why I got Peanut a workbook. Because I'm like, her kid's doing it. Like I must be able to do this workbook with my 2-year-old. It did not go well, let me tell you. She just scribbles in this damn book and I get so whatever. So I definitely compare myself to her, which is not great, but I also find her a huge inspiration as well. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right?
It
It's
really
like
is.
she's amazing and she cooks and cleans and does all this stuff. And I'm like, I can't do this workbook with my 2-year-old. I have to hire a cleaner. I can't even do that. Like, oh my gosh, the comparison is insane. And we can go on about this forever.
We really
so.
can. I think our biggest thing that we try to kind of ease our mind is that, like, there's no way that these people do this all the time. There's no way that these influential moms and dads are, like, literally doing all these cool stuff all the time.
Yeah,
And
for
that's
sure.
how we kind of, like, their 30 seconds of reels is now, like, what we think of their whole life, which is not
So
true.
true.
Yeah.
And also, I remember coming across somebody that kind of debunked those things of influencers,
Oh,
right?
right.
So I was
I
like,
remember you telling me
that
about
is
that.
so nice,
I know.
actually.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was pretty crazy. But
And again,
anyways,
this is why we started this channel. We don't want any of that.
yeah.
We want to be as real as possible. We want to complain. We want to, like...
Yeah. We want to tell you the real stories, okay? Like, we've got some doozies of stories.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure we'll get to at some point. But anyways.
Which is the next one.
Yep.
All right, household responsibilities.
Okay.
I feel like before kids, we kept our house fairly clean. We do our parts. You know what I mean?
We struggled with that for a bit, but yes, we had that damn tally.
Exactly. We have our sink kind of like empty. We always make sure all the floors are waxed and floored. I don't know. well mopped. And,
Who waxes their floors?
but and then
get it,
I feel like after kids, especially having two, everything just kind of gets delayed, and that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, give yourself some grace because it is going to happen. The dishes are not always going to be done. And like, don't get upset with yourself for not doing them. Like I always gave myself such a hard time. Like I need to have the laundry done. I need to do the dishes. I need all this stuff. It's like, I really don't. What I need is a mental break.
Yeah.
So take it.
Yeah. Remember that your main priority now is your kid. Everything else doesn't really all that matters. So just remember that.
And it will get done.
It will get done at some point, just when they go to sleep.
Exactly.
So yeah, give yourself a break. It's totally fine.
Exactly. So the next one, sleep training.
Ooh, all right.
Sleep training is a huge guilt, especially when you're doing like certain methods and you feel really guilty about letting them cry, which if you haven't seen our recent video on sleep training, you should definitely check it out because it is a doozy with some great secrets that have been spilled and great tips actually for you to get your child to sleep.
Yeah. How did we sleep train our kids 10 plus hours a night? Please watch that video.
Watch that video and find out.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, so the sleep training is a huge guilt for sure. Yep. And then also like, are they ready? Aren't they? Am I ready? Blah, 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 blah. I can go on and on.
Exactly. I mean, the biggest guilt is part of sleep training is that you have to let your kid be in there and kind of self-soothe themselves, which may involve crying. And you're going to have to let them cry for a little bit. And
it's so sad. It's going to break your heart for sure. Especially when your first child, like you're going to be heartbroken thinking like they're up there crying and I'm just leaving it.
Yeah. And again, it's fine. They will get sleep trained and it'll all be worth it. But it's just part of the process you have to get through. Okay. Next on the list is screen time.
Screen time.
All right. Do you remember the first time us letting
did not let
little Peanut
do any screen time for what, like a full year?
Whole year. I think just after a year. Yeah. And then we're just like, all right, we're all getting bored.
Yeah, like we need to do something, especially when winter hit. We're like, God, what are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Although, like, at first I did let Peanut watch TV with me when she was like really young. Like I would have the TV on and she would watch a little bit. But after that point where she kind of like started recognizing TV and like understanding that she's like interested in it, then that's when we're like, yeah, no. Yeah.
And part of guilt comes from I'm not spending time with my child, even though I spent like how many hours of already.
And also not that, but like just mushing their brain with stuff that's not important, right?
Yeah,
and like overstimulating them. Like there comes like lots of guilt with that.
Exactly. And that's why you have to pick your screen time carefully, right? Maybe pick, because do you remember some of the first things we watched for Little Peanut?
What, do you remember?
I don't remember.
I think she started a lot on Blippi.
I think so.
I think the first movie she loved watching Angry Birds.
Oh my goodness.
Because she didn't understand it and she didn't get scared at that point.
No.
We didn't really have I started her on like Dr. McStuffins and stuff.
Yeah, but I think Blippi was a huge part of her early
it really was
childhood.
Yeah.
Like it really was. And we were fine with Blippi too because Blippi was so kind of he teaches a lot of things. He goes to museums, he goes to pools and all that stuff. So we didn't feel as bad letting her watch Blippi because he was very informative.
And especially with today's age, we have to be really careful about what our children are watching. And like, I am sorry, but there are shows that they are literally trying to manipulate your child and changing their small brains into like thinking that certain things are okay. Exactly. Like it's so crazy how they're doing that in kids shows already.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so true. Like they have the government or whoever is responsible have this agenda that they want to instill your kid.
They're indoctrinating our children at such a young age.
Exactly. So when they grow up, they want to be what the government wants to be and not what the parents wants to be. So for those young parents out there, pre-watch your shows before you let your kid watches them. Yeah,
you literally have to. You have to know what's going on. And that's why we've also kind of implemented some of the 90s shows,
oh my gosh,
right?
We
because we
know
shows. That they are like safe and
Let's go. Now we're
it's
talking.
Just but actually,
seriously.
So, anyways, that's a whole other thing. We won't get even more into it, I guess.
Yeah, no, let's.
But just we definitely pre-watched our shows to make sure that everything was fine and that there's no hidden agendas in those shows. Moving on is health and safety concerns.
Oh boy, I mean, I feel like like we just talked about it. Like I feel like there is some guilt when you watch your child get hurt, and it's and you in your back of your mind, it's like, oh right, I could have done better to prevent them from getting hurt.
Yes.
But stuff happens, and yeah, you just make sure it's no big injuries.
Yeah, and then I stress out because I'm like, is that a big injury? Like, I don't know how many times I've said to you, I'm like, do you think she has a concussion? And Tom's like, she like just barely nicked the side of her head. Like,
seriously.
And I'm just like, we have to go to the hospital.
You're like, what are the symptoms of concussions again? And I'm like, no.
Like, just checking. Yeah, I am the worst with this kind of stuff just because, like, I fear my own health and, like, I'm borderline hypochondriac, but besides the point. Yeah, so I definitely over-exaggerate a lot of health.
Your kid's tough. They're really flexible. They have a hard head.
I know.
They'll
they
be
just can't
okay.
tell you. They can't express certain things.
Like,
and that's what scares me.
I remember, I think I was, like, must be older than our kids, but, like, I fell off the top of our bunk bed that I was sleeping with my cousins. Fell right on my head or my face, right on the floor in the middle of the night. I remember just getting up and just like, wait, what? And I climbed back up and fell asleep.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like I could have got a concussion, but like, I don't know, like kids are tough.
I know.
And you gotta know that they don't weigh that much.
Yeah.
Even if they fall, they're so low to the center of gravity. Like nothing hurts them. They'll cry, but like it takes so much to hurt a kid.
I need to see very scientific theories on this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know. I'm a little extra when it comes to this. I mean, I'm extra in general, but like...
Yeah, but that's okay. You gotta watch out for your kid.
Yeah, and I'm just very bad with this kind of stuff. And, well, health and safety, another example would be Peanut with her acid, like, reflux or, like, her throwing up and stuff, right? We were so concerned about that, and then we felt guilty because we had to have her on a certain medication. And then we were like, oh my gosh, she's like, how old? And she's already on freaking medication? Like, what is going on? And then... and you think it's something we did. And then I also feel like she didn't probably need that medication because I think I was just overfeeding her. So she just kept spitting it up. And anyways.
Too much.
So there you go. There's an example of how, like, we are not good parents all the time. Like, so true. It's just, it's one of those things where I'm like, I think we literally just fed her too much, which I learned through our second child because I fed her lots and we were struggling trying to figure out how much she needed, blah, blah, blah. And she would throw up or spit up, I guess, at a certain point. And I was like, oh, I think she's getting too much. And then it was like light bulb. And I'm like, oh God, I think Peanut was getting too much. And we put her on a stupid medication. Damn doctors. All they do is prescribe medication.
Yeah. Oh my.
Okay. Again.
Okay, hold back. Hold it back. Hold it back. We're spilling too much stuff.
Okay.
That the fans are not ready yet.
You're right. They're not ready.
Please stay tuned for what we really think of the world. We're not going to get into much right now.
Sorry. Anyways, yes. So we'll just leave it at that.
We'll just leave it at that. Moving on. All right. Asking for help.
I feel like we didn't do this.
We didn't. We hate asking for help.
We hate asking for help because it's like, there are kids, like we should be able to do this.
Exactly, right? Like people love our kids. We need to realize that. Yeah. People love our kids and it's all a burden for them to take care of them.
It's so hilarious because an example of Tom is like, we'll be somewhere and somebody's like, oh, can I hold her? And then Tom's like, I got it. I'm like, no, Tom, like they literally want to hold her. And you're just like feeling like it's a burden on them.
Yeah, I know. It's like, no, I got it.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
You enjoy your time. You enjoy your time.
Hand over the damn baby.
I know. Yeah, you have to remind me of that.
I
like,
do.
Oh, right.
Right? Because I'm like, like, they're not really, like, it's not a burden on them. They want to see the baby. Like, give them the baby.
For example, we had the birthday party last week, and this nice lady just took her kid for, like, a whole hour because she was just like, I want to hold this baby.
She just wanted to hold her. And it was so nice for us because it's like, now we can, like, get up and, like, enjoy time with Peanut and, like...
But you know what, though? I said to her, do you want to hold this baby? So, because she kept looking at her and she kept smiling at her.
Oh, she didn't ask right away.
She didn't ask right away. So, if you, see those little subtle hints,
shifty eyes,
you gotta take advantage of that.
Yeah, and that's just the key, right? Like asking people because they're probably like, I don't know if they're comfortable with me holding their baby.
So true.
Yeah, just communication, man.
Yeah, seriously.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. We really don't ask for help with our friends. I feel like that's
we need
to start.
Yeah, we need to ask friends for help. Even when our friends literally offer it to us, we're like, oh yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. And at the same time, we have no one to help us. Even though we have people offering all the time.
I know, and then we're at houses.
But I'm really bad. Like, this is my bad because I'm like, I don't know if people know how to take care of my kid.
Yeah, I know.
That's a me problem.
Yeah, we got trust. Trust. Okay, so we got financial stress.
Financial stress.
I mean,
who doesn't have financial stress? I think this is with or without a child, to be honest.
I think it's definitely more with a child because you're spending more money. You are. At a time you're like literally spending $1,000 to $500.
$600 on a car seat. Great.
Yeah.
And then, oh wait, now we need another one because she's outgrown this one. So.
Yeah. It's a spending pattern is a lot more.
So true. Y'all get it, right?
Y'all get it. I mean,
get it.
Don't be afraid to buy secondhand stuff, I guess. Yeah. That's a tough one. You just got to get through whatever. So
changes in your relationship.
Ooh, yeah, okay.
About that one.
Yeah.
Especially when your man needs some loving and you're like, back off, bro. You know?
Yeah.
Back off.
I got a baby right here. Yeah.
Do you not just see what I've been doing all day? Like, nah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, like, nah, I'm ready.
Let's go.
I just think of all those funny Instagram reels with it's like, just put the baby in the bed and the man's like,
yeah. Let's get it on. I mean,
definitely happens in your first year, especially like if you have a vaginal birth, which we've talked about in previous videos. Like you can't be intimate for a certain amount of time.
I feel like
definitely piles up.
Most of the guilt comes from probably the woman feeling bad for the man because the baby's the main priority. The man is just kind of like there again as a supporting actor. And so, there's a lot of guilt of like, oh wow. Yeah. I'm not doing things for him in the bed and you spend much quality time together. Yeah. And so, as a man, it's just there's a lot of understanding that comes with it.
Yeah, patience and understanding for sure.
Exactly. So
for
really,
because some women I'm sure are a lot more, than me.
I'm sure.
I'm sure. Either way, understanding and being patient and having compassion for your partner.
Yeah.
But it's going to happen. You're going to have that guilt and that's just inevitable.
But as a man, you need to understand what your woman has gone through and you need to put less like guilt on her because the more guilt you put on her, the less chances you're probably going to get laid. So
for
just,
sure.
Just realize
keep that in mind.
Yep. Next on the list is feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah. I mean, there's lots of guilt that comes with this and like, what's to say, really? Like
you're
gonna be overwhelmed and you just have to get through it. Like
just know that it's okay to be really overwhelmed because there's not much anything can help. So
and again, maybe like rely on your support systems.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Asking for help.
Talk to your partner. Be vocal about how you're feeling because I think that's really important and that will help you get through. Sometimes when you just like relieve yourself of those things in your head, that's helpful enough. Right?
So true. Talk about it. Talk with everybody.
All right, and then the last one, well, there's a few more, but another one on the list is not being perfect, and I feel like this basically sums up the whole concept of feeling guilty.
Sorry, just remember me a song by Simple Plan.
No.
I just kept singing in my head.
Are you gonna sing it right now?
Hey, Dad,
you're
look at me.
Okay. Think back and talk to me.
When I grow up.
This is a classic Tom move.
I need my music to play so I can sing.
You don't know how to sing the lyrics.
I don't know the chorus.
Anyways, perfect.
Well,
yep.
We're 90s kids win, so.
Yeah, for sure.
If you know that song.
Anyways, all right. Not being perfect sums up all of this whole idea of feeling guilty.
It's like, why am I not this? Why am I not like my parents? Why do I feel frustrated? Why can't I even handle one kid?
Where's my patience?
Where's my patience? Why?
Yeah, so true. Any advice on this one?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm sure our parents went through the same stuff and they just forgot
every parent goes through the same.
Exactly. Yeah. There's no way you're just
Yeah. Grace. Give yourself grace. That's all we can say with this one because we still struggle with this to this day.
Yep, for sure.
There are a couple other ones that we never really felt too guilty about, but like there's things like returning to work. That is something that's going to probably pop up when you have to give your poor, in Canada, you have either a year of mat leave or you can even extend it to, I think, 18 months now. But when you have to put your child in daycare, it's like, man, Peanut wasn't even walking at a year. And I'm like, and we're supposed to just hand her off to somebody else. The guilt is insane. Yep. So, we got really lucky with that. So this was never something that necessarily came up as a huge guilt for us.
But I'm sure it's very common.
It is very common, especially if you live somewhere else like the States. I think, I don't even know. What do you guys get? Like 3 months? Like, it's crazy.
I know. What do you with the baby then? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. If we have any people from the States watching us, let us know.
Seriously.
Like, what do you do and how do you handle this kind of stuff? Because, crazy.
That's crazy. All right. Last on the list is not spending enough time.
Yeah.
Which, again...
You're going to have those guilts if you have to, like, work, if you work from home, or, like, you know, you have obligations that you need to get done while you're still at home, or, like, leaving your baby just on the floor to, like, do mat time or something.
So you could do something.
I'm not doing enough with them.
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's just guilt everywhere. Like, you're just surrounded, like, piling up with guilt. It's crazy.
Just know that the fact that you're there for them is... enough. The fact that you show up and you're doing your best, that is more than enough for the kid.
And also be vulnerable with your kids, I think. I mean, right now it's a little bit young of an age, but like be open and like have that communication right away with your kids. I feel like that'll be super important and it'll go a long way in the future.
Yeah, exactly.
But you will get through another
don't say
phase that I
don't
hate.
say it.
You'll get through it, but just try and
honestly, I feel like what really sort of helped us was talking with other people, especially like your parents, because remember they were over here that one time. We're in the backyard and we're literally just like spilling our guts with them. Yeah. And we felt so much better after that.
We really did.
So really be vulnerable with people, guys. Don't hold it in. Other parents or, you know, your parents, like they all went through the same thing. So just talk to them about it.
Exactly.
You'll be surprised of how good it feels once you let it all out.
It's so true. And then we also talked with my brother and that just changed perspectives for us in lots of aspects. Like,
it was so crazy.
Let it out.
Let it out.
Yeah. Have a word vomit. Just
seriously.
Get it all out of there.
Yeah. I mean, if you gotta cry, you gotta cry too, you know what I'm saying? All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this podcast. I hope you learned a little bit about the topic and a little about us. Yep. We want to see you every Wednesday, so like and subscribe so you can follow us. And if you want to stay for the raw talk afterwards, you're more than welcome to.
One more second.
Exactly. All right, guys, welcome back to the post show.
Thanks for continuing to watch.
Yeah, this is the raw talk where we just kind of lean back a little bit and just kind of unravel our minds a little bit of what's going on in the past week.
So how you doing?
I mean, I'm doing okay still. You know, things are still fine. It's the sun shining, so I'm in a good place.
It's raining today.
It's raining. One thing I want to talk about would be Father's Day. Let's talk about that.
Oh no.
What do you mean?
Is this going to be negative? Are you going to get down on me?
No, I don't think so. It's not the day itself. It's just it's just like
the expectation of the day?
Yeah, I would say not the day that I went through. Like I had a great Father's Day, spent time with the family, breakfast, like it was fine. Off the hook. But I want to just talk about just Father's Day itself. I don't know. I'm really happy to be with my family and you guys do things for me, but at the same time it's almost like a day that is set to fail, I feel like. Just because you go into the day with such high expectations of like, man, I ain't doing shit today. I'm gonna be pampered. I'm gonna have my kids feeding grapes to me and this and that. You know, it's just such high expectations. And
it is. Yeah.
And it's and I feel like I
mean, Father's Day was a little bit ago, so it's not like we just experienced it. I mean, it was like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it was last weekend, I guess.
Yeah, so I just don't want people to think that we're like filming this at Father's
Day.
Yeah. Not that matters. We do film it actually in advance, so.
Right.
Anyways. See, and I feel like I'm the complete opposite because like I love Mother's Day. But again, like, okay, I feel like maybe this is the difference though, is that you actually provide value to these days, whereas me, like, I just get so stressed out and I probably don't provide even the closest bit to what you would need. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't, but the thing is, I don't know what I need. What do I?
I mean, you're expecting grapes fed to you by your children and not doing anything that
exactly, day. Yeah, I feel like...
Which I really try to do.
I know, but it's tough. If you're at the house, you might as well go do stuff, right? And I don't know. I feel like it was like really fine throughout the day. And I feel like at some point in the afternoon, I think I felt just kind of like, oh man, this is it. Eh? You know, and again, it's like that's
Things
like high.
definitely shifted that day though. Like it was a day of unexpected things happening.
Oh, okay. I can't remember what happened.
What happened? Well, we ended up like doing a bunch of things with your parents.
Right.
And then they were going to come over to our house for supper.
Right.
And so like I think in my mind it just kind of got like a lot of things that I just wasn't prepared / maybe necessarily wanting to do at the time.
It's true, yeah.
So
right, yes, because I was
kept
like
being a surprise for me too, where I was just like, oh man, like, and now we have to cook. And then you were talking about getting steaks, and I'm like, now we have to go grocery shopping. Like,
right, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that was, yeah, it was. I do apologize for that because it was not the best day for you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, definitely not your fault. But yeah, I remember that because I remember I was like, oh, I gotta cook for my, gotta cook for
on
my day as well.
I know.
But again, I don't know. This is why I'm having trouble with the day, because it's you're expected to do so little, but at the same time, like, you're still a dad. So it's just like,
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe Father's Day, in other people's head, maybe it's like, oh, I'm expected to do all this stuff anyways.
Yeah.
So it's it's just like I said, it's a day set for failure. And so,
well, and yeah, I guess however you look at it, I suppose.
yeah.
Yeah. Cuz yeah. Well, like I said, like that day kind of took a turn in the way that I was not expecting.
Right.
And so I think that really set things up a little, yeah, not for the best.
Yeah.
So, and then yeah, you ended up having to cook, and it was just like I wasn't mentally prepared for cooking a friggin' steak dinner for like your family and stuff, and I was just like, yeah.
But you know what? I would say after I had the low slump, I snapped out of it fairly quickly, because I'm just like I just feel, I was like, man, I looked around like, wow, like, this is so awesome. Like, I'm with my wife, I'm with my kids, and like, this is just all I need. Like, I don't need all this expectation of stuff, because it doesn't help you with anything.
It's true.
So,
and yeah, it is one of those things that I would like to do for you, you know, like it is a day where you should get spoiled and you should like have less duties and things like that. And like, that is what I wanted to do for you. And I think I tried throughout the day, but then things just kept happening one after the other.
It's so
and I'm just
tough,
like,
especially with two kids. Like, there's constantly stuff to do.
Worse, yeah.
Yeah, right. And
so I don't know. It was very hard. And then like, I mean, for anyone that watches, my mental state is like a roller coaster all the time. And so like, I almost need to have things set in place where I'm not all of a sudden like, well, yeah, you know, like I can't have things just switch on me immediately. Like, I need to be aware, and I need to be, you know, like I need that moment in advance,
right,
to prepare for what is to come.
Right. Yeah.
And I think when I get caught off guard, like one of our other recent Raw Talks, remember when I was like, yeah, you just flipped the switch on me.
Right. Yeah, you don't
and
like
then
that.
I get stressed out because I don't know how to deal with it.
Right.
Without having the time to prepare.
Right.
So, but yeah, Father's Day and Mother's Day, you know, there is a lot of pressure with that, especially with gifts. Oh my God. Like, I'm the dang gifts.
Easy giver.
I try, and this guy, you know, like...
Yeah.
It's so hard. And that's where tough. I feel a lot of pressure for me. Like, if we could do those kind of days without any gifts, like, man. Same with, like, your birthday. Like, anything that I have to get Tom a gift, okay, let me tell you.
All right.
He is the worst.
For the ladies out there that have trouble giving men stuff, know what kind of hobbies they're into and just give them replacements of that.
Okay, well, when Tom has hobbies of golf that require a golf club that's $600, and I know he would be pissed if I spent that money on it.
Give me some gloves then.
Okay, I've given you golf balls, and you just, like, don't even use the things. So it's just, like, and then you like snowboarding. Well, what the hell am I supposed to get you for snowboarding when you already have, like, all of the equipment? You just got a new snowboard, you just got, like, what am I supposed to get you? If I got you socks, you'd be like, what am I doing with these? Do you know what I mean? Like, you are so hard to buy for. Like, I know your hobbies. They're just, like, impossible to still get something for.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't help the fact that, like, Yeah, I'm like, you wasted money on that.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like,
yeah.
there's no winning. There's no winning, and it's so frustrating. And then I feel so much stress and pressure every time a damn holiday or like event comes up where I have to get you something.
Just ask me next time. I will gladly tell you.
See, and I have, lies. I have asked you before.
Okay.
And you don't. You're like, I don't know.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, now you know I like that t-shirt company. So
yes, you did tell me that after Father's Day. You're like, I like this place. Like, get me a t-shirt from here.
Get me some ammunition and some gloves for golf. And I always need more of that. So they always go. So
okay. Yeah. Anyways.
All right. So, another thing that I want to talk. I was going to save this for podcast, but we were talking about homemade food. This is the guilt that parents feel is not making enough homemade food for kids.
Where did that go?
I don't know. But let's talk about what we're here. It's it's a common guilt.
Right. Sorry. Homemade food is for like not first year really as much. Oh no, it is.
No, it is. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, you make whatever yams and carrots. I see. Okay. But, sometimes you go to the grocery stores, you pick the tubes, you pick the easy stuff that's like, oh, yeah, this will be quick and easy. Mm-hmm. And so I do a little digging into what the things that we get for kids, which is the tubes. You crack it open and they're a bunch of organic fruit stuff.
They're organic.
I search into preservatives, right? Because we're like, how does this product stay on the shelf for like a whole year, basically? Yeah. It doesn't even go bad. And I think you mentioned citric acid is a preservative, which it is. And there's two kinds. There's the organic ones where it comes from lemons and limes and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then there's the artificial stuff, which they make out of a mold, apparently. So they make this preservative out of a mold and they use that to kind of preserve the food. And that's how they stay for a long time in the shelves, which is, study shows that it's fine if you don't consume too much of it. If you do, it kind of wrecks your stomach a little bit, stomach lining. But I just found out that the tubes that we have our kids drink is under lawsuit since 2022. And the lawsuit is for having over the amount of toxic metals in the tubes. Like, it's like way over.
Are you serious?
Yeah, over the FDA standards. It's like crazy over. And it's causing kids to develop autism because it's...
No wonder there's so many kids with autism these days. Oh my god, really? Oh shoot.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, our kids are fine. I'm sure they're fine. But
I know, but and here again, the guilt immediately jumps into my brain of how long have we been doing this for?
Exactly.
That's really sad. Are you sure? But they're organic.
Yeah.
It says organic.
I know.
I hate that you cannot trust anything.
Yeah.
Even when you read the ingredients.
You can't trust anything. You have to do your own research. Good thing, it's a good thing that we looked into it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the brand because I don't want to get a lawsuit in my hand as well.
Right.
But it's in Walmart, and just do your own research before you get anything for your kids. And so
that's so depressing.
I mean, the cool thing, you can join the lawsuit too if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you call a number and...
Oh, a class action.
It's a class action, yeah.
Oh, dang. But I'm sure you have to have a reason within your child.
I think your kid have to show some form of autism.
Right.
And it
relates. Oh, my God. Oh, that's really... Oh, that sucks.
So...
Thank God we have your Chinese heritage because Chinese people got the best health.
Yeah. Yeah.
For reals.
Yeah.
For reals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, well, that's depressing.
Yeah.
Let's end it there.
Let's end it there, guys. All right. So, guilt.
Feeling lots of it now, let me tell you.
Exactly.
I guess I will be going and throwing out some tubes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we might have to just make our own, I guess.
Yeah.
Like everything. It seems like just everything relates to you just have to do your own stuff.
Do your own.
Now we started making our own granola bars a couple of days ago. And it came out pretty good. So
yeah,
we'll have to start doing our own stuff.
All right, guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks for sticking around.
Bye-bye. See you next Wednesday.
Bye.